Hello, welcome to the next session in the series of principal component analysis. This session will give you a quick, complete and simplified explanation of principal components. To define principal components first, we can say principal components are the new uncorrelated variables which are constructed or extracted from the given initial set of features. For example, we have given 5 set of features or 5 set of variables x1, x2, x3, x4 and x5. We can say this is a 5-dimensional data. Then from this 5-dimensional data, 5 principal components can be extracted: PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4 and PC5. And the magic of PCA is that it tries to put maximum possible information in the first principal component and then maximum remaining information in the second and so on. So we can make use of the first few components only, as the most of the information is compressed into them. Now, how to obtain the principal components? Here comes the step-by-step procedure. First 3 steps of the same has already been explained in the previous videos, wherein I have talked about detailed mathematical analysis. Quickly, I'll summarize those 3 steps with the help of the same example, wherein the data was given between two features x1 and x2 as shown in the graph. The very first step is to standardize the data. After standardizing the data, x1 and x2 will have mean at 0 and standard deviation of 1. So this is the new axis that can be represented for this data set in the standard form. Second step, we need to compute the covariance matrix. Using the covariance matrix, we can represent the covariance between features x1 and x2, and this was the matrix we obtained. In the third step, you need to calculate the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Eigenvalue and eigenvectors actually play the magic of PCA, because eigenvectors are the principal components only which determine the direction of the new feature space, and eigenvalues determine their magnitude. So here my eigenvalues are lambda 1 and lambda 2, 1.284 and 0.049 respectively, and corresponding to first eigenvalue I got this eigenvector 0.67 and 0.73 for x1 and x2 respectively. So if you mark this point in this graph, you will get a point corresponding to 0.6 and 0.7 somewhere here, and corresponding to this point you can draw the vector like this, which will represent my new axis. Similarly, corresponding to lambda 2, I got this eigenvector 0.73 and minus 0.67, which will be represented here as a point, and corresponding to this point, the blue line is representing the eigenvector, which is just perpendicular to the first eigenvector and which is totally uncorrelated. Now the next step is to compute the feature vector and the principal components. To represent the feature vector, you need to sort the eigenvalues in descending order. So eigenvalue maximum one is 1.284 lambda 1. So corresponding to this eigenvalue, this is my first eigenvector in the first column, and corresponding to lambda 2 is equal to 0.49. I'll represent it as the second column of the feature vector. So this way the feature vector has been formulated, and the principal component are nothing but these two eigenvectors only. So if we have two features x1 and x2, I will get two principal components, and the eigenvector corresponding to the highest eigenvalue will be my first principal component, which is in the direction of maximum variance. As you can see, the red line is corresponding to the first principal component, which is obviously in the direction of maximum variance of the data. So that's all about the session on principal components, wherein I can summarize that the first principal component represents the direction in which the data has maximum variance and also the direction in which the data is mostly spread out. So if we have given a large data set with multiple features, principal components help in selecting the most important features in determining the target.